On August 19th, 2021, the world lost a shining light with the passing of hockey legend Rod Gilbert. Rod was an NHL All-Star, a Hockey Hall of Famer, the Rangers' all-time leading scorer, and the first player to have his jersey retired to the rafters of Madison Square Garden.
Ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere. Mr. Rod Gilbert, can you please come to the
It is impossible for me to thank you all as personally and as sincerely as I would like to. You have given me a home, friendship, respect, and love. These are the things I consider more important than fame, and for which I will always be grateful to you. All I can say from the bottom of my heart is thank you. I love you all very much.
But the road to greatness wasn't easy. As a teenager playing hockey in Canada, Rod suffered a horrifying back-breaking injury and was told he may never walk again. Rod never gave up and eventually fought his way into the New York Rangers lineup, where he quickly became a fan favorite.
1960, Rod joined the Rangers, six-team league, and became a Hall of Famer. Rod Gilbert was the soul of Madison Square Garden for half a century.
Madison Square Garden was Rod's house. He invited everybody in with an open heart. I've been around him a long time, and just watching him, how he treated people, how he treated the kids, how he treated the fans, the staff at the Garden, the ushers, everybody was a Rod Gilbert fan.
Well, I idolized Rod from afar for many, many years. If you grew up in New York in the 60s and 70s like I did, and you saw a player like him, and he just had the hair, he had the looks, he had the charisma, he immediately became somebody that you aspired to become like. And it wasn't until I became a Jet quarterback, I met Rod at a celebrity ski event out in Colorado. At that time, my son Gunnar was 2 years old, and he was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. I remember asking Rod about his belief in cystic fibrosis. Are we going to be able to cure this disease? Are we ever going to give these kids a chance to live a healthy life? In a very, very serious moment, he goes, I guarantee you your son will live. He goes, I know because I've been to all the meetings, I've been to all the fundraisers, and every year something new is coming. And when you meet somebody like that later on in life, and you see the person that he is and the people that he has touched and the family that he has left behind, you realize Rod left a legacy.
Well, I'll tell you, my memory of Rod Gilbert goes back to when I was 18 in my first training camp. So, who comes walking in to introduce themselves? Rod Gilbert.
My rookie year, I was just there about a week, and he came up to me, listen, we'll go out. On the ice, obviously he's got the record for all the most points ever. He just had a way. He had a great slap shot. He was always in the right place at the right time.
There's a guy who's a Hall of Famer, but he was the biggest fan that I've ever met for the Rangers. When I met him for the first time, he comes up, shakes my hand, and says, welcome to the organization.
I can remember back in '91 when I first came to the Rangers, him putting his hand out and shaking my hand and welcoming me.
Well, Rod was a very special person to me. When I first signed with the Rangers, he sent me a telegram.
I joined the New York Rangers in 1994. He was one of the first person who came up to me and he introduced himself. Because I am Rod Gilbert, and I'd like to welcome you to the Rangers.
Rod was one of those special people that you don't meet very often that could light up a room.
Game in, game out, he'd be there with a smile on his face.
When you walk into a room, he always had a smile. Everyone knows about his smile.
He was one of the most genuine people I have ever met. Just an amazing individual.
Every time you come to the rink, he's always there to greet you with that big smile.
Well, Rod was very genuine. Off the ice, warm personality, good smile.
He's just one of those characters that just come along once in a blue moon,
True gentleman and someone that for 50 years dedicated himself to obviously being a Ranger, but more importantly, being a New Yorker and making a difference in the community. And there wasn't a charity or a person in New York that needed help that he would pass by. When you think of Rod, you also think of Skate with the Greats, an annual event for Ronald McDonald House. It was just tremendous.
We did appearances, especially with the Ronald McDonald House.
The immediate need that the Ronald McDonald House provides is crucial. If we don't take care of these kids that need so much attention and love and care, the next year they're not with us.
He couldn't ask for a better ambassador. The fans showed him love, and he gave them love back. He gave them time, he gave them energy. You know, the different charities he was involved in.
He didn't just show up to events, he really participated, and people really look forward to seeing him. I think he really took that role very seriously too, that he was out there representing himself. He's also representing the New York Rangers, the National Hockey League.
Rod is always such a great ambassador for this event, representing the Rangers, and jumped headfirst in when we first started this.
On behalf of the Ronald McDonald House Board of Directors, it gives me great pleasure to present Rod Gilbert with the Child's Champion Award.
It's better than the Stanley Cup, for crying out loud.
He's a great man. I was happy that he's a part of my life and showed me, you know, what the alumni was all about, and being a Ranger. And
To know him is to love him.
In the COVID shutdown in New York, he was out at his balcony slapping his hockey stick. That was an ultimate expression of his personality still. He was a Ranger, representing the Rangers, but cheering on the city.
Rod led by example. He understood the importance of being a role model and dedicated his life to helping others in need. With a unique perspective on second chances and overcoming adversity, Rod never took anything for granted, and he will be remembered, not only for his positive impact on the game of ice hockey, but for his positive impact on the lives of all those he touched along the way.
I'd like to pay tribute to Rod, who I met very briefly, but he made a huge impression on me, as I know he did on many, many people. He was not only one of the greats of the game, his background is extraordinary, and what he overcame to get to where he was is nothing short of miraculous and inspiring. But for me, the thing I love about him was his sense of service, his service to his team, service to the game that he played and loved, and even more importantly, his sense of service to the community. He never ever lost sight of the fact that he was in a position where he could really affect many, many other people. And he gave generously, and he gave freely and fully, and that is something that I love about him. I know many, many people love about him, and that we'll always remember him for.
It's a true privilege for me to say thank you to all of you, to the Ronald McDonald House. Keep up the good work.